friends, it's Jay. Today's video is going to be a tag video. I was tagged a little while back by Dr. Rose, and she was doing a video on discontinued fragrances in her collection. So I was tagged, and it's taken me a little bit, but here I am doing this video. Hey, Dr. Rose. So I found 3 fragrances in my collection, 3 perfumes, and actually one item that's related to fragrance that's not actually a perfume for your body or your clothes. We'll get into that later, but it's interesting. These fragrances I think are, if you can find them at a good price, I would say they are worth it to get your hands on. 2 of them are extremely hard to find, and you might not be able to get them if you didn't get them secondhand, like Mercari or Poshmark or something like that. But I don't see them available on the gray market. And one of them I do see on the gray market, but the prices have really gone up since I purchased it, and I wouldn't recommend you really buy it. But let's go ahead and get into the video. This first one is the Angel au Croisiere. This is the 2019 version, okay? So this is, has some of the original Alien DNA. So there's that sweet patchouli, vanilla, kind of chocolatey, praline-ish feeling, mildly, but there's also mango, and there's citruses in here. I think it's grapefruit. Let me go ahead and spray it for you. And I think that this one, because the original Angel is really too heavy for me. This one is really nice. And I don't think that this is only a summer fragrance. I think that you can definitely wear it in the springtime, summertime, maybe summer nights, summer days maybe. I definitely think that you could wear this in the fall because of the patchouli. This fragrance, I would advise you to be careful when you're trying to find it, because I've tried to find this fragrance for people looking for it and been excited that I thought I found it, only to find that the seller has the 2020 version with the fig. I've also heard, I can't say for myself, but I do know that I have heard that the 2020 version with the fig kind of smells similar to this one. So I don't know how, how much you'd be missing out getting the 2020 version. I'm sure it smells wonderful, and I'm sure it's not that big of a difference, but you do get that mango and that citrus in the beginning. The patchouli and the sweetness from the original Angel DNA is not, like I said in the beginning, too strong. It's there, but it's just a great mix. I think this is a great fragrance. So if you can get it at a reasonable price, I don't know what would be reasonable for you, but I bought this fragrance, I think probably for about I really can't remember, but I probably wouldn't have bought it if it were more than about $70 or $80 as far as this fragrance goes. It was on Fragrance Buy. I think it was a rare gem, but keep your eyes out for it. But also be aware that some vendors will advertise this bottle, but it will be the 2020 version. So keep your eyes out for that. So this is the 2019 Angel au Croisiere, beautiful fragrance, discontinued and hard to find. The next one is available, but the prices have gone up. This is one of my favorite fragrances. I don't always have an occasion to wear this fragrance. This is Elie Saab, the Le Parfum Intense. This is the box, okay? I call this my man getting perfume, okay? I think it's really beautiful. I think it's really feminine. It makes me feel sexy, sensual when I wear it. White flowers, orange blossom in particular, that's my favorite white flower. That's why this may be really attractive to me. It has a note of patchouli, and the way that the patchouli is done in this fragrance is very attractive to me as well, because it makes me feel like I've been in humidity. The patchouli adds a humid feeling to this perfume. And really, I think humidity is beautiful. It makes your skin feel nice, makes your hair feel nice. Maybe not on the hottest of days, in the middle of the day. I mean, I understand that can be a little bit much, but you know, when the temperature is right, I think humidity is really, really beautiful. So the patchouli or the orange blossom is primarily what you get, but it's deepened and it's kind of sexed up with that patchouli, and honey as well is in here. So it's a sweet, warm orange blossom. And it's really beautiful. I think you can wear it in the, I think it does well in the heat for sure. Autumn, when it's a little bit warmer. I wouldn't wear this fragrance necessarily in the cold weather just because of how it makes me feel. I feel like it is a tropical warm weather fragrance. No yellow florals or no coconut, not tropical in that way, but just that humid feeling is what I mean by tropical. So that is Elie Saab Le Parfum Intense. I probably bought this fragrance for about $45, maybe $50 when I did get it. So I mean, again, it just depends on what you're willing to spend. If you are going to kind of splurge on this fragrance, it is available. And that's that. The next fragrance I think is long gone. I really don't think that, I mean, again, if you're going to be able to get it, you're going to be able to get it secondhand from Mercari or Poshmark, or, you know, knowing somebody who has it. But this fragrance has, I think, long been discontinued. And this is by a brand called Ginestat, and it's Botra Tee, okay? So isn't this the cutest little bottle? So it's round, there's a grape leaf, there's some grape etching on the glass. It says Ginestat here, Botra Tee on the other side. And the color, I mean, come on, that juice is really, really lovely. This is the box. I'll show you. These white boxes, Botra Tee. And it came in a little duster bag here, kind of sits nestled in there really cutely. So this brand was a company that made wine. And when they gathered the wine, I guess it was specific. I don't know if it's specific to this company. It seems like it would be something that might apply to all winemakers, but the Botrytis is a bacteria that sits on the grapes, or that grows on the grapes, and it actually makes them sweeter. And so it's attractive in that way. I guess it's interesting because you don't always think of bacteria in a good way. There are, you know, really great bacteria that help us along, and in this way too, in winemaking. But yeah, this fragrance is, I don't know where you're gonna find it. It's honey, okay? This is like honey from your farmer's market, or from the container. If you just squeeze it and you smell that honey, you know, honey has a honey has a floral, which is what I was saying, component to it in some ways. Some honey can be very animalic, and it is an animalic note because it comes from the bees, directly from the bees. It's their vomit, if you didn't know. But it's you know, it's made of pollen, so you know, all the flowers that they collect, so it's going to have a floral smell to it as well. So they've I don't get any animalic, I don't get a urine smell from this honey, is where I'm going. It's very smooth, it's floral and soft, and there is some spice to here. So there's like a gingerbread spice. There's grapes in here. It's not too fruity. This is a very smooth fragrance. I'll show you the atomizer. And you would think that it's heavy. I mean, I don't know what you think, but sometimes people feel like honey is heavy, and it can be. It can be suffocating, it can be very pungent. But this is, it does have a little bit of that in there, I do have to say, but it's a lighter fragrance. It's not something that's gonna suffocate you. Even in the summertime, you can wear this. I feel like it has dried fruits in here, so it has a little bit of sweetness along with that grape. But even with the sweetness in this fragrance, I don't feel like it's gonna be overwhelming in the summertime. I feel like you could definitely wear this. All these seem to be warmer weather. I don't think that I would wear any of these in the winter time. So I don't know, you guys, if you're interested. I don't ever think that I would, while I have this, I don't feel the need to buy Scandal or any other like honey dominant fragrances, because this is satisfying to me. Everything about it, the way the bottle feels, the way it smells, packaging, it's really really beautiful to me. So if you can get your hands on it or research it, this is by a brand called Ginestat, and the perfume is called Botra Tee. Okay, so on to the last fragrance related item that I have in my collection. It is not a perfume, but for your body, well, the outside of your body, this is a fragrance for your mouth. This is by a company who claims to have created the original breath mint. Okay, I know that people for years have been using things to freshen their breath. I know people have used chewed on coffee beans or chewed on licorice, or other things to help their breath smell better. But this manufacturer claims on their website, or it's like I went to Old Time Candies, and found that this has been discontinued. This is a Sen-Sen, and it's a confection sucré, so a sweet confection. This was introduced to me by my grandma, and she used to always have these on her purse. I have recently opened this. When I first got it, it was closed, but I just had to, get familiar with them again. But yeah, they say that this is the first maybe commercialized breath mint, and it just really, it's nostalgic for me. It took me back. They, to me, aren't really good. They look like little charcoal pieces, and they're hard. You can kind of hear it shaking. Let me pour some in my hand. So they taste like licorice, black licorice, maybe that has been sprayed with perfume. They taste like perfume. Like if I'm spraying all these fragrances in the air, they kind of taste like the perfume has gotten in my mouth. And it's advertised that they were used by opera singers or just people who have to do a lot of speaking or, projecting with their mouth. It's strong. It's very, very strong. And it lasts for a long time. But I always thought it was interesting, and because she traveled a lot, I thought they were from overseas, but I don't think that this is made in another country. I think that this is an American thing. I will have to research that more. Don't take my word for it completely, but I just thought it was very exotic feeling. So I looked online, and it said that the manufacturer stopped producing these. Now, I was looking to see how much it was to purchase a pack, and each of these little packages, it looks like they're $45, $49. It would last you for a long time because there's so many in here and you don't need very much. And really all you have to do is kind of fold it up and stick it in your purse or stick it in your maybe even wallet or whatever. But would you want to? Would you want to is a question. This is more of a nostalgic novelty, I would call it. And it's just great to have, great to remember. And it's funny to think that people like in the 1800s may have really thought that these tasted good or have enjoyed them, taste change and over time. But this has to be the most interesting thing that's been discontinued that's I have in my collection. So I wanted to share that with you guys. Have you guys ever heard of these? Have you guys ever heard of Sen-Sens? And if you have, please put them in the comments just so that, we can kind of relate and I can know that I'm not the only one. Or any of these fragrances. Have you guys tried the Ginestat by Botra Tee? Botra Tee by Ginestat. Have any of you tried the 2019 Angel of Croisiere? Or have you guys ever tried the Elie Saab, the Le Parfum Intense? This is the intense version. So let me know in the comments. Let's talk about it. But otherwise, thank you, Dr. Rose, for tagging me. This was fun to kind of research and think about. And yeah, and you guys, I feel like it's interesting to see what's discontinued and what other people find to be interesting. So if anybody else wants to do a discontinued tag, feel free. But that's all for today. I love Jay. Bye-bye.